Ramondre being unfair to your mobility skills?
No, he's not lying, man. A couple times, DN caught me today. I wasn't expecting that. You know, back in the day, I might have got away. So I told Penny Hart, I'm like, man, I got to get back on the track this offseason, work on my speed again, because you know, I can't have that happen.
Is he lying about your video game skills too?
That's definitely a lie. He's mad because I beat him all the time, so he gets upset. But you know, short man complex. That's how that works.
What did today mean, a win as a starter in the NFL again for you personally?
You know, honestly, it just meant a lot for the team, for the fans. You know, it's not about me. I said that from the beginning. You know, I'm out there just doing my job and, you know, trying to put us in the best position to win. So, you know, the fans were amazing today. On Halloween, they came out. They were in full effect, had the costumes on, and it was great to get a win.
I know it's not about you, but your teammates in the last today, really, they've told us that they really wanted to support you and to rally around you as you try to figure it out and get this first win. What has it meant to you to feel their support since you became the starter here?
You know, honestly, they've been supportive since the day I got here. You know, I said that the team embraced me, the city has embraced me, and it's honestly refreshing. You know, it's really refreshing, man. Just, you know, with the history I've had and, you know, having gone to, you know, 2 and 3 teams, just to have somewhere to settle in and to, you know, really work and just get to know everybody, it's really refreshing. So, you know, just having teammates these guys are tremendous in this locker room, win, lose, or draw. We stick together. We always play together. We always play to win. And, you know, we got to win today. But just having those teammates like that, man, it just, you know, it makes you want to do the right thing and always try and get the win.
In the moment, were you aware that you had completed your first 14 passes?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I mean, I always count. You know, I'm always counting in my head. That's just kind of how I play the game. I've always played like that. You know, I always count. You want to complete every single ball. You know, that's the reality. Coach calls a pass, and you know, I want to complete it badly. And some you got to throw away, you know, just because you're doing the right thing. But reality is, it's in my head. You know, even in practice, I'm counting. You know, trying to make sure that, you know, I'm, you know, completing the majority of my passes.
So did you know by the end of the game, even without having to look, that you had completed 20?
No, I don't have to look up. I literally count in my head and I keep track of them.
So when you're rolling out there at 14 for 14, and they just spent the week yelling at you for taking a sack in the field goal range, are you thinking, well, here goes the streak, I got to throw it away? Were you doing that?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's doing the right thing. You know, honestly, it's doing the right thing. I'll throw it away if it was, you know, 28 for 28, because that's what it takes to win. So, you know, and that's something I need to improve on, you know, from last week. You know, took some sacks in some critical situations, and I had to get the ball away. And so that was the emphasis this week is, you know, throwing the ball away if you got in trouble. And, you know, I was able to do that a few times.
How different was this game plan compared to Monday night and the wind and rain and all that?
You know, I think it was a lot different. It had to be. I mean, you know, people don't want to take account for the wind and rain, but, I mean, it was real out there. You know, you can't just go out there and try to, you know, fling the ball all over the place. You know, that's not realistic. So today we had a great day, you know, great weather day, and, you know, we were able to get our calls off early. We were able to be aggressive. The pass to Tyler was beautiful. Great call by Shane. And, you know, we were just aggressive at the beginning of the game, and we stayed on it and pushed the tempo. And you could see how it really affected those guys.
Seems like you really had a
goal up to one. You had been stoned by 3 running plays. The call. Did you make the call on the sneak, or how did the conversation go with you and Shane?
Yeah, that was the play call, and I was just signaling for us to go for it. You know, we had gotten down there. I think it was critical for us to get 7 in that situation and not settle for 3. And, you know, when you put the ball, you know, in the quarterback's hands, you know, it's our job to get in the end zone. So I just felt like I could dive over and was able to get that done.
You and Tyler seemed to really have it going, especially in the first half. Just what was working so well with that connection?
I think just the more repetition that we've gotten over the past 3 weeks. I've gotten to learn how he runs routes and how he gets to certain spots. And so just repetition. That was the main thing, is just the repetition that we gotten. We spent a ton of time after practice together, me and Tyler, and it paid off, really.
Obviously not too many guys built like DK in the NFL. What are you thinking of the first touchdown pass there in the corner? Just wanted to give him a shot.
Yeah, just give him a chance, man. Give that guy a chance. He makes some amazing catches, amazing plays. I mean, he's phenomenal. Great player, going to be a great player for a long time. So anytime you got a one-on-one with a guy like that, you just give him a chance.
You guys expect Shaq to shout at him as much as he did?
Well, yeah, of course. Shaq's a great corner, and they rely on him to shut down #1 receivers. He's been doing a great job all year, and that's a matchup we've seen in practice for the last couple of years. So, you know, we knew that was going to happen. So, we just had to make sure that we were aggressive.
You met up with Shaq at midfield after the game.
Yeah, it's always good vibes, man. Another Florida boy, man. Just always good vibes. And Shaq's a great player, like I said. He was battling out there. He was doing his thing, and we just got the best of him a few times.
How much more comfortable have you felt each week, considering the rest that you had leading into your first start?
I'm always, the more you get reps, I mean, that's just the key to life is repetition. The more you get reps and get familiar with the guys that you're playing with, the better you're going to be if you work at it and you work hard. So I just felt like overall just getting the reps with those guys and, having Ethan in there, and we got a ton of reps after practice as well, I think it paid off. We just got to keep pressing forward. It's one game. Not to downplay it. We're happy with the win, but, we get a bye week, get a chance to rest up and, get ready for the, second half of the season. It's going to be big.
You said it's not about you, but is there some validation, though, in being able to go out and play the way you did today and put up those kind of numbers?
I mean, in the words of the great Kevin Durant, man, you guys know who I am. I show you guys every day, man. You see me throw the ball. I mean, I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything like that, but I've done it for a long time. And, you can pull up tape from 2014, me doing the same thing. So it's reality is I know who I am. I'm never going to get too big or too high or too low on it. And, I'm never going to listen to anyone else. I have the loudest voice in my head. I know what I can do, and I just got to keep working.
Speaking of 2014, it's your first win as a starter since the last game of that season. To go 6 years without getting a chance to get a W in the column for yourself, it's got to feel good to finally get that.
God is good, man. God is good. He's kept me. He's kept me, and he's gonna keep me in his arms, in his graces. And as long as I do the right thing, I think things are gonna be well.
How was the communication with Ethan at center today?
Communication was awesome. Ethan did a great job. I think with the tempo that we had, just, being up tempo, he was calling out the mic. He was getting the guys lined up and really orchestrating things, and it was great. Kyle's done a great job as well, and Kyle's been battling his butt off all season, even throughout the offseason. So I want to give a lot of love to him as well because he's also a good player. But I think Ethan did a great job today.
The throwback pass from Dallas to you to Lockett, is that a new wrinkle this week, or is that something dusted off from years ago?
I think Russ hit that maybe last year or 2 years ago with Chris. Chris threw it back to him. We hit that, but that's a good play. Honestly, that's a play we've always had in the playbook, and Shane dialed it up at the right time, and it worked.
Quandre was just talking about he's been on some bad teams before, teams that they knew they weren't going to turn it around.
Right.
You've been on some bad teams too. How did you know this team though would be different? Like, what does that look like behind the scenes?
I mean, there's never a moral victory, when you lose, but the reality is the games that we've lost have all been one-possession games, and those are all good teams. I think all those teams won today. So the reality is we've got to, look at it with the glass half full mindset rather than the glass half empty mindset. And so we've got a long season ahead of us, and we can get it done. We got the guys in this locker room to get it done, and we all believe in each other, and, to me, that's all that matters.
Anything else?
Thanks, Geno.
Thanks, Geno.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.